Welcome to Impact Podcast. My name is Sanya Milo. I'm an entrepreneur based in Montenegro, and this content is carefully chosen for you to motivate you and make your thinking related to success in business and private life. Today, I'm proud to have first episode in English, and more proud that I'm talking with a friend, with an investor, with a great father of four, with a sportsman, and a lot of to tell you about Montenegro from the both sides. And I think that he lives 5 years more than myself in Montenegro. It's Ruben Vergara Meersohn.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
Thank you. Pleasure
How
to be
are
here.
you? Great.
Very, very good. Fantastic.
Thanks for the quick response and being my first guest for this English episode. I really do believe that this is the way how people and the world will see and will hear more about Montenegro from us who are living here. So, Ruben, you are an entrepreneur. Your portfolio is most in the real estate, technology, media, infrastructure, correct?
Correct. Absolutely.
So it looks like a very diverse portfolio. And what I would like to say to all our viewers is that you are leading the family office. And let's start about it. So more about your family office and how actually you started your entrepreneurial journey in life and what motivates you and how it goes now.
Absolutely. Maybe I can start from the beginning.
Yes,
so I'm
please.
a high school dropout. I stopped going to school when I was 14. And it was very tough at the beginning, especially since my father kicked me out of the house. So I had to make it on my own. And paying rent, survival was a real issue. So I had to start working very hard and figure out life on a speed track. So first few jobs were hard labor. So working in the wineries, collecting grapes and producing wine, Chianti, in the Tuscan region. And then I started working in a pizzeria as a waiter, as a welder in a factory, until I realized I couldn't do it anymore. It was 5 a.m. to 5 p.m. every single day, very tiring.
Wow.
And I started thinking maybe I should do something with my brain rather than with my brute force. And that's when I started really being introspective and thinking, what do I have as a skill set that could be applied to the marketplace? And back then I used to speak 6 languages, so translation was an obvious choice.
Perfect.
So I began in a translation company.
You're originally from Italy.
Correct, yes.
Which city? And what is purely Italian in you, which you never changed through all your countries you lived and visited? What is always what you bring as an Italian with you?
So I was born in Reggio Emilia, but I lived all my life in Modena, which is in northern Italy. And it's a very industrial city known for sports car, for amazing food and great heritage culture. And I would say what I really bring as my Italian spirit is that I cannot stop moving my hands. That's why I put my hands in the pocket. But that I would say is my Italian trait. And besides that, I love everything beautiful. So beauty in the clothing, beauty in the food, beauty in the architecture. So everything that is very pleasing to the eye.
Great, thanks for that answer. So tell me how it comes that you moved to Montenegro 15 years ago, and since I met your father, sister, and how it comes that you are now in the family office after kicking you from the school and house.
Yeah. So after beginning in the translation company, I made my way up as project manager, senior manager. Then I started some management roles. I moved to Australia, and there I transitioned from translation to finance. That led me to move from Sydney to London, worked there during the tough years of the financial crisis, so back in 2009. And I managed to save enough money to start my entrepreneurial journey.
Great.
With that, I moved to Barcelona first and then back to Italy. And I had few failures as companies. As every new entrepreneur, I had no clue what it meant. So having a big desk was a very important thing that later on I decided it it wasn't really a priority and it was just a waste of money. But it was all those small lessons that brought me to conceiving what real entrepreneurship meant.
I fully agree with you. I think that talking about failures, this is the most priceless thing, and sharing failures is it shows that we learned the lesson, even though sometimes maybe we can risk same. I also, as an entrepreneur, having the same sharing of that was recently. Before I was thinking that I'm the smartest one, but recently I want to share with the younger entrepreneurs.
Mentoring them and so on. I fully agree. And I think in Europe we see failure as a shame almost. We don't want to share, we don't want to discuss our failures. And I see it the opposite. I think it's almost a badge of honor. I almost wouldn't do business with people that haven't failed and haven't learned the lesson. And I'm a big advocate of life learning. So anything, any new experience, whether it is a success or a failure, it builds up your character. And in failure, you normally learn even more than in success, because you might feel like you are accomplished, so you don't need to make that much effort. But when you have experienced failure, it drives you to make 100% more effort in order to avoid failure again, especially if it was a painful failure.
Yes, maybe smarter efforts.
Yeah, absolutely. And using more the brain, very important.
Yes. So, and then after Barcelona?
I moved back to Italy. There, one of my companies became quite successful. I had one exit. I started other companies, and that's also when I reconnected with my father. And we decided to start a business together, which we still have together. It's a media business.
That's really beautiful to hear.
And also our relationship transitioned from more father-son to more like friends. So now we are great friends. We can talk about any topic, and our relationship has become much more deep, and we can have truly enjoyable conversations.
Perfect. Both has definitely entrepreneurial spirit, so you're having exchange in that moment. So then, how it comes that you choose Montenegro, and who moved first?
So the business was going very well, and then suddenly I received the tax bill, and I experienced the
beauty of the tax.
Exactly. Especially in Italy.
In Italy.
64% was quite a big hit between personal income tax and corporate tax. And I decided to move and become a nomad capitalist. So starting my businesses all around the world. And actually coming to Montenegro was a great surprise, because I was invited as an investor on a trip when Porto Montenegro was still an old Navy base. So the following year, when I decided to relocate from Italy, Montenegro came to my mind, and I made a list of most attractive destinations. And strangely enough, Montenegro was number one against the UAE, against United States, Thailand, like several other countries. And I decided to move here.
Yes, definitely. Investors are moving to the countries where they feel comfortable in the sense of the tax, when they have all clear and then the system is in place. So
absolutely.
This is what also brought me to Montenegro. And I think that we have now a nice discussion, which probably some of the others who are interested to invest in Montenegro can hear. And actually, maybe we can talk about key challenges for the investors here.
Absolutely.
What you faced as an investor here.
I would say the main challenges are bureaucracy and a non-linear system. So you always need to go through hoops and find solutions that are a bit more creative compared to straightforward bureaucracy where you have a document for every issue, you just sign it and move forward. Here you need to be very creative, you need to develop personal relationships, and you need to use really your brain in order to solve very simple issues that become complicated because of human nature.
Yes, I think that with the EU and with all this progress of Montenegro, that will be changed. But I think that also mentality plays the important role in the doing business. But still, I mean, both of us, we are optimists since we are here. And tell me how you are implementing your strategies. How many businesses in this moment you have? If I can ask, if it's allowed, if you want to share.
Absolutely. To be honest, I don't recall how many because we have a private equity arm where we invest in businesses. But my core businesses are the family office where we do all the investments from. I have like real estate arm where we do developments. I have a hospitality group where we manage luxury estates, a fashion business. I have a media company. I have a construction materials company. I have a like consulting business, another business for smaller investments, and an infrastructure company.
Yeah, fashion business is in Italy, correct?
Yes.
Yes, I like that brand very much. So tell me how you are incorporating and adapting yourself to this new era of the sustainability, of the innovations, of the digital transformation. I think it makes it easy for us, but still we have a family office and probably presenting and doing project management with people who probably they have experience, but we are in the era of the Generation Z and all this fast consumer of the media and everything. So how you are dealing and is there any
I would say
tip?
I would say that 10 years ago it was a big conversation in our family office with partners and so on. Today is almost a given. So we don't do anything that is not sustainable or technological driven, because we believe that if we do an investment that is actually damaging the earth or people or the communities we live in, it's not really an investment, and we are not really factoring in the damage into the investment spectrum. So in our investment matrix is very clear. Sustainability is one of the core principles, and we need to take data-driven solutions, hence implement as much technologies as we can.
Yeah, data definitely is the new currency,
Absolutely.
which we have to use more and more, especially with the AI and all this.
Absolutely. I think now a business cannot thrive without AI, especially for running the regular errands. And it has become a very big pillar for anything you do in business, whether it is running a restaurant, investment, or any other type of company.
Definitely, I agree. And tell me about, I would like to emphasize your role in the family office. I do believe that people knows, and also there is always someone who would like to hear about family office. So how it works, you mentioned before, but is there anything specific which you would like to share in comparison with the other ways of investment management companies?
Sure. Yes. Family office. We are a multi-family office, so it's multiple families. It's my family from Italy. We have a family from Denmark, one from Brazil, and we came all together due to our love for real estate investment. We had a lot of experience in the past in development, single family home, residential complex, hotels, and portfolio companies in the real estate. And we started developing projects together. And throughout the years, we decided to pool our resources and start investing together, because we believe that knowledge sharing and working closely together enhances our ability to make great investments.
Perfect. If there is a definition how one good family office should have when it comes to the vision, I like the one. I was researching a couple of family offices which are active here in Montenegro. So one of the things which I realize is that some of them they know, some of them they don't have the risk management strategy. What is your opinion and how you are dealing with the risks?
Yeah.
Do you have a couple of steps which you would like to share, like if we are facing the risk into the investment which we are?
Absolutely. I would say that risk is mostly ignorance, in the sense that if you're not aware of something, you perceive it as a risk. Once you are very much educated into the investment and you are hands-on, then you understand all the details that are related to the investment, and then you're able to manage such risk, hence lowering the risk of the investment. So I see it as an educational process. If there is a risk, you better learn all the details so that you can make a thorough analysis. And if you are able to manage those risks, then that risk basically disappear. And as a family office, we're very much entrepreneurial. So we always take the general partner position. We are very hands-on. We have our management team take over the investments. Hence, we never do transactions where there is risk involved because we rely on our own team, on our own capabilities, and in markets where we are very knowledgeable.
Thanks for that answer. And my next question is about Montenegro.
Yes.
And about your opinion where we are now when it comes to investment. How do you see upcoming years? The past I would not analyze. There is I don't see a lot to tell, but let's focus on the future. So
I see Montenegro at a decisive crossroad, and depending on the next few political decisions, I think they can really open up the investment landscape in Montenegro, and I see it as a very interesting market. Being an emerging market, everything is an opportunity, and there is still no real financial system. So private investors, family offices, and wealthy individuals can come into the market with very low acquisition cost, be exposed to very attractive opportunities, and it's across sectors. So I would say Montenegro is probably one of the most interesting investment destinations across the world.
Yes, and tell me, what is your opinion about the passports and global citizenship, which was before it was opened for the foreigners to apply, and now I think it's stopped, but...
Yes, there are still discussions, but it's not currently open. I would say that's a very big loss because a lot of other countries have golden visa progress. They have a very fast pathways to citizenship, and they have investment tax breaks, and that makes the investment scenario much more attractive, and it opens up for opportunities that before were not available. As you could see in Porto Montenegro, in Colašin, both destinations have developed very, very fast due to the passport program.
Yes.
And I think it's a big loss for the country.
I do believe that the government and everyone who maybe listen this will really rethink this decision, and I think that this is the big step in order to attract the investors. I'm following what's happening, for example, in UAE, and for example, Caribbean citizenship you can buy very easily, and you can get all these benefits from that citizenship. I mean, why not Montenegro?
Absolutely.
Because this was one of the really USPs which we had couple 2 years ago in our hands in order to attract, because more investors make the climate for the investments better for all of us who are here, and for example for you who already invested. So this is a circle. And tell me about from the investment. I would like to connect now investments with your private life, and the fact that you are having the big family, which is amazing, and how you are managing your private family house.
So we have a very clear strategy in our family. It's divide and conquer. So while my wife takes care of the home, I take care of business affairs and make sure that she doesn't need to think about anything in life. And I've always wanted a very large family. Now I have 4 children, so I'm very satisfied with it. And they bring me joy. They also are my motivation, my engine to do more and to do more interesting things.
Perfect. And also tell me, you are a sportsman, you are enthusiast, and what I see that you are running, you are on triathlons, you are with your kids running, and this is one bright example how investor is doing normal things, but also is the way of the discipline.
Absolutely.
Which you shows. Because if you can run, what was the longest run you did?
80 kilometers.
Bravo. Then definitely you can run also 80 kilometers of the long talk with the investors, correct?
Yeah.
So tell me how the sport actually impact your motivation in business.
I would say you mentioned the core one, so discipline and perseverance, and also being very patient. And I see endurance sports as a very good foundation for everything in life, because you're challenging your mind and you're pushing what is your limitations. And if you apply the same principles that you have in sports to business, to family, across the board, you have the same type of outcomes. So I use business principles in sports, I use sports principles in my family, and I try to exchange all of them together, because I believe that it's almost interdisciplinary. So once you learn it in one field, you can always utilize it in another field as well.
Great.
And in general, I would say that sports also helped me to form this patience mindset that is also very useful in investments.
Definitely. And tell me also about uh, advices to the young entrepreneurs, since you are involved in the Union of the Youth Entrepreneurs, and you are always supporting young startups and businesses here. So, what is the first advice you are saying?
I would say this is a very Montenegro and Balkan specific advice I give. It's think bigger, because I can always see young entrepreneurs having limitations in their mindset. They might be hardworking, but their vision doesn't go beyond the borders. And I think for business people, having those type of limitation, especially geographically, limits a lot the scope of the business. Besides that, don't be afraid of failure, and don't go into a path of comfort where your parents were used to a scenario where you just take a job in municipality and you carry working there for the next 40 years. You will get an apartment, you will retire, and you will be satisfied. The diversity now is that if you get a job at the municipality, first, your salary will not be enough to thrive in life. They will not be giving you the apartment, and it's not as secure as it was back in Yugoslavia. So I think there is a very big paradigm shift in the new generation, and they need to adapt to the global landscape. And now business is worldwide. It's not anymore in Montenegro or
It's
a Balkan
remote.
thing. Yeah. And you can cooperate with the businesses internationally and make partnership and scale your business abroad. So this limitation is setting back a lot of young entrepreneurs here in the region.
Yes, great. And I would like to actually slowly come to the end of this first episode of English podcast. And do you have any question for me? This is also something new, which I like to practice with my guests, because this role that I'm a podcast host gives me really satisfaction to talk with friends and also meet new people, in this case with a friend and investor. So happily to listen your question.
Absolutely.
If you have. And it's a surprise, I have to say. I don't know what's going on. So
Yeah, the question I wanted to ask you is very much on topic related to investments. We met over 10 years ago, and throughout your career, you have always been in relationship with investors, millionaires, billionaires coming to the region, and being interested in starting new businesses, investing in projects. And I wanted to ask you, especially on the perspective of women in business, how do you see the investment scenario in Montenegro and the Balkans in general? And what would be necessary policy-wise to improve even further the investment landscape?
Great question. I am in these years focused on the female investors, and I would really love to see female investor from the EU, from the all other countries worldwide coming to Montenegro to meet female businesses from Montenegro. So this is for me something which is a goal, and I promised to myself that this year, it doesn't matter if it's a September, one investor day will be definitely something which is needed just to again start to talk about Montenegro as an investment destination. I do believe that policies and institutions, everyone do the job, but usually people, they believe in what we are saying to them, because it's about failures and successes and the whole this circle which we live each day. So this is one of my goals. What I see as a challenge is that there is not a lot of female investors, but there are some of them, and actually we should encourage females to invest. This is the moment where I see it's not about just investing $1 million. You can start with the 10,000, you can start with the 20,000, you can be part, and you can actually start to think as an investor. So this is for me the biggest problem, because what I see also as a problem, female in our region, maybe now I'm a bit with my talk, I will maybe tackle really specific thing. They would rather buy a bag than invest that money to some of the company, or go to get some education or course or meet people, etc. So this is something that we have to change. So material things, they definitely do and make you satisfaction and satisfied related to something which you mentioned. I love beautiful things, but still, if you are young female and would like to actually develop yourself and think big, then better than buying something which you can simply lose next day, then rather go and buy stock, go on the stock market, buy shares and anything. So my big thing is that I will share with you, like this Women of Impact, the platform. I would like to see like first 10 females becoming the shareholders of the platform, because not because of me, it is important, but simply because of the changing of the mindset. Once you have first three investors, fourth will come, and this is how actually you can build the worldwide brand. These are my talks. Then after the podcast, you can tell me, does that make sense in the business manner? So thanks really for the question. Maybe I had long answer, but really it was surprisingly super question.
But one funny thing, when you mention bags and so on, I've been at a conference recently where they mentioned that Birkins are becoming a new asset class. So investing in bags can even beat the S&P 500 in the US when you are very good at picking the right bags. And
no, definitely, I do believe in that. I'm just focused on the Balkan region stuff.
Absolutely,
and definitely luxury goods. It's a simply an asset, investment asset. Same is with the paintings, with the art. So this is maybe for some next podcast, new topic. But
no, it was just a funny thing because I was there 2 weeks ago and they mentioned Birkins as a new asset class in luxury goods. So
next time we talk about your fashion brand and your bags.
Definitely, we can do that.
Maybe female watchers, they can actually find out more about rebranding, and how you can actually from a losing company become a really productive and profit-oriented one. Thank you, Ruben.
True pleasure.
I will close. It was really a pleasure. So thanks for watching, and please share your comments and questions if you like what you heard.